So I'm here with Eamonn Connell this morning there, but we were just joking. We have a bit of a joke between ourselves about it's the time of the year now for the reversing videos, and there's a little bit to the reversing videos, and so I'm going to ask him for his opinion. He put up a good one there last week, and he put up a very good one about 2 weeks before that as well. But we do joke about it. It's a bit of a private joke, but I'll let Eamonn tell you a little bit about it. What are all these reversing videos about, Eamonn? Why do lads put them up?
Personally, myself, in everyday work, I'd far prefer to have no reversing if the sheep would just go on, you know. But this time of year with lambing and whatnot, you're going to have confrontation with yours protecting their lambs, and without dogs you couldn't move numbers of sheep. But reversing a sheep just for the sake of reversing a sheep, to my mind, is pointless, you know. That's why most of the videos I put up would be in work situations, everyday work situations. But you don't just reversing a single sheep up the road or up the field. Doesn't really cut much ice. It doesn't show you anything about the dog, you know.
So when we see, as we will now, we'll see lots of reversing videos. When we see them, what should you typically be looking for? Like, I thought your video was very good the other day because it showed things that I'd be looking for myself when I look at one of those. But what kind of things should people be looking for, as opposed to a dog that's kind of faking it there or letting on to be doing the job?
The first thing I'd like to see is that the sheep isn't just going.
Yes.
Yeah, when I see a sheep, and some sheep are very good at reversing, they look at the dog, they walk backwards, they're going backwards, like there's any dog can push them backwards. This time of year you have yaws and lambs, and I like to see a lamb at foot, and a fresh lamb, a young lamb. When the lambs get to a month old, the yaws having the same instinct. No, they don't be protective. Yeah. I'd like to see a young lamb, and to see what the dog is, I'd like to see him showing just a nice cool walk on, with not the handler quiet and not giving too many get up, good dog, good dog, good dog. Just walk on to your sheep without commands. The dog should know. And then to assess the character of the dog, I'd like to see what will happen when the yaw says, which invariably in a work situation they'll go so far and then they'll say, I'm not going anymore, what have you got?
Yeah, show me your cards.
Then you'll know what the dog is.
Yeah.
You know, will your dog just give it a one on the head and maybe a shot on the heel just to drive it on, and then a sheep invariably will pack in and go. And that to me shows me what the character of the dog is. Now, am I looking at a dog with power, or am I looking at a dog that's shadowboxing, for the want of a better word?
Well, by the way, a lot of times we'll see a dog in a video there and he's reversing a single sheep, or maybe a Hebridean or a Soy, a different breed or something like that. Or for that again, we might see him reversing a video, but we never actually see any confrontation or a stamp of the foot or anything from the yaw. What do you think of them videos?
Actually, you're only looking at the style of the dog. You know what I mean? As I said at the start, some sheep are very good at reversing, especially if they're dog sheep, training sheep. They know to go back, and there's no reason for them not to.
Yeah.
You know, to assess the character of a dog, has this dog got what it takes for everyday work? You have to have a sheep that doesn't want to go.
Yeah. Yeah. A sheep
that doesn't want to leave.
Not playing ball.
Yeah. And then you soon see.
Yeah.
You know, you soon I like to see a dog give it a shot on the head. When it turns, ideally just a little peck behind, and the sheep can go.
Yeah. And what's the purpose of that though? Because somebody said to me, what are all these reversing videos about? They thought it was just a little exercise that we do. Why do people make those videos? Is it just to show the character of the dog in a...
People like to show their dogs for selling pups or for stud or whatever. As I said before, I like to see it. I don't like watching reversing videos, but I like watching reversing videos in a work situation where there's an actual purpose, and I like to see what happens when the sheep said, I have enough, I'm not going any further. Yeah. That's how I assess a dog on a reversing video.
Yeah, oh yes, because if you haven't got those few ingredients, like the lambs at foot or young lambs at foot, and if you haven't got a yaw that says I'm not playing ball anymore, well then we could easily set up one of those videos there with a few reversing.
Yes, and also the handler needs to be you know, you walk along beside the sheep, a single sheep with no lamb, with a camera, and your dog is 3 yards away.
Yeah.
And you're you're moving the sheep yourself. You know what I mean? To a large
you're
degree.
nearly like a second dog. You're giving them help there.
Somebody put up a very good video, I thought, last year on, maybe it was David Rees, was it?
I don't know. Or could Richard Briggs had it?
Richard Briggs, that's who it was. Of a little bitch taking a young lamb to a trailer or a pen or something.
Yes.
And it was during lambing. It was obviously a job he had to do. It had to be done, like. And it wasn't cut or edited. You seen the start and you seen the finish.
Yes.
And it gave you a really, really good insight into what that dog was.
Ah, yes.
You know, you knew what that bitch was when you finished watching the video.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas a dog reversing a sheep down along a fence or up a field with no great confrontation or anything, well, you don't know, except that the dog can walk forwards and the sheep can walk backwards. That's what you learn from that.
And the other thing is, so maybe the person did it 10 times to get the right one for the video.
No, I love those work videos.
Because you see it as it happens. It's the real thing.
It's the real thing. Like Ricky Hutchinson a few years ago put up one with the two dogs. Putting sheep into a shed.
I remember that.
And there was a bit of rough and tumble. You got a good idea of what those two dogs were. Aladon put one up last year.
Alad had a super one.
That was a really good video. It was going up a road. There was a bit about bashing and banging. The dog showed that he's prepared to stand up for himself. And when the sheep were going away from him, he showed a coolness. So from looking at those videos, to me anyway, I had a fair good idea what those dogs were at home just from the video.
Yes.
Because you got to see it all.
So I suppose that's something somebody should be watching for. If they want to see what a dog really is, see him in a real situation, not a setup. Like
that's the place you assess a dog for. If you're looking to buy a pup out of a particular bitch, or if you're looking at a dog to use for stud, at home on the farm, there's nowhere better to assess a dog. Like. Nowhere better.
Well, that's enough of us anyway. Me and you better go start putting our money where our mouth is, do a bit of practice.